Good morning children, welcome to today's science class. Today's class will continue learning about block 18, that is materials and their forms. So previous class we learned that different types of materials are surrounding us and we can classify them as solids, liquids and gases. By now you all know that what are the properties of solids and what properties do liquids have and what properties do gases have. So now we will move on to learn more about solids, liquids and gases today. So now let us do an activity. See, after the class is over, after watching the video also you can do this and you can observe. If you take your butter, hard butter which is there inside your fridge, you take it out and keep it on a table, on a plate, you keep it on a table. And also you can take ice cube from the freezer and you can leave it on a bowl on a table and leave it for some time and you start observing children. So now first of all tell me ice and butter, both are in what form children? Now you know the different forms. Both are in solid form. Very good. When you removed from the fridge and freezer, they were in the solid form. Yes. So when you leave it for outside, after some time, what happened to the ice? The ice will start becoming into water, right? And even the butter will start melting. No, children, the butter will start. The ice is like this as it is when it is in the solid. Slowly it will change into butter which is in the solid form like this. It will start melting. What will we say? It will start melting. So what is this new term? Now we are going to learn what is this melting all about. So melts. Even when you buy an ice cream, you got a ice cream in your hand and you are not eating and you are simply talking with your friends. What happened to that ice? So that will start melting. So what is melting? So melting means, see here, the solid is changing into what, children? It is changing into liquid. Here also butter is changing into liquid, no children. So solid changing into liquid. Solid is getting changed into liquid. How it will happen? How it is happening, children? How it is happening? Very good. Because of the heat. Inside the freezer, inside the fridge, it was very cold. So when you are removing it outside, due to the heat outside, the solid ice is changing into liquid. The solid butter is changing into liquid. Also the ice cream which was hard and which had a fixed shape, it is changing into the melted ice cream. So that process is called as melting. In melting, what happens actually? Solid will change into liquid. And why it is happening? It is happening because of the heat. When we are supplying, because of the heat, solid can change into liquid. Now the bowl is full of water and the butter also on the plate. I told you to keep on this. You will do and you will send me the pics. So that plate, again you leave it in the freezer. Again ice in the water in the freezer and the butter in the fridge. So what happens now? After some time, you leave it for some time. After some time, when you open and see what happens. Same thing for ice cream also. You are eating ice cream, it started completely melted, you don't like it. So you will not throw it. What you should do, you should keep in the freezer. After some time, what happens to these three things which we discussed? Water, melted butter and the melted ice cream. What will happen to them? Very good. They will change hard. They will have a fixed shape now. When a material, when a substance, when a thing is having fixed shape and fixed volume, that is occupying a fixed volume, it is a solid. So now how that has happened, children? So now we saw that liquid is changing into solid, right? Water is changing into ice and butter, liquid butter is changing into solid butter. Ice cream is again changing, melted ice cream is changing into hard ice cream, solid ice cream. Why it is happening? Very good. Because inside the fridge it is cool, because of cooling. See? So this changing in state, changing in the form from solid form to liquid form to again solid form, it is happening because of heating and cooling. Now what is this called, children? Liquid is again changing into solid. What is it called? Very good. That is called as the freezing. That is called freezing. Freezing means changing of liquid into solid. So see the different how you know now to identify solid, liquid, gas, and also now solid can change into liquid and liquid can change into solid. That is happening because of the heating or cooling. Now after observing, you can draw the pictures in the book or paper and you write melting, freezing. These all are the new terms which you have to learn the keywords, melting and freezing. So melting, what happens? Solid changes into liquid by on. What you have to do? Solid you have to change into liquid is what you have to do? Heating, on heating. Because of heating it is changing. Now freezing means liquid changes into solid on cooling. Example, by now you know to give. I have told 3 examples. You can think of more examples. You can give how a solid is changing into liquid, how a liquid is changing into solid. So melting, freezing, spellings you have to learn. You have to know what is, why it is happening also. Now let us move on to the next part. Now solid is here. What are we learning? Solid to liquid and liquid to solid. Now same bowl of water which you got by melting the ice. So your mother transferred into one bowl, another big container, and she started heating. So when you heat it for some time, when you steam for her, first of all, when you start heating, after some time, what happened to the water, children? It will start boiling. See, freezing, melting, then you are learning about boiling. So what is boiling? So when you take a liquid and when you start heating, it will start to change into gas. Keep on, when you are allowing that water to boil, what happen? The complete water will change into gas, no children. So now see, in boiling, what is changing? Liquid changes into gas, right? Liquid changes into gas. That is because of on heating. So when you heat, the liquid changes into boiling. Yes, no, one a bowl of water, if you start, keep on, if you are heating, the complete water will be, if you leave it, forget it, you will see that finally there will be very, very less water when you are closing it, or allow, if you leave it like that only, it is very, complete water will get evaporate. That is getting, changing into gas. So that is called boiling. Now, so this is what you are heating. Now suppose near your home, there is a puddle, rained, and there is a puddle of water. And it is the puddle what water is there. So after 2-3 days, what happened to that water, children? It will be there only permanently. That puddle of water will be there. Very good. The water will be getting disappeared slowly to becoming dry. The completely it will dry up. How? Who is heating? Very good. It is due to the sun's heat, but indirectly we are not heating. So that is called what? Do you know that what we just now even that word I hinted? Yeah, very good. That is called evaporation. So after learning the spellings of melting, freezing, boiling and evaporation. So evaporation. What happens in evaporation? Again, what is changing? The liquid is changing into gas only without direct heating. We are not heating. In the nature, due to the sun's heat, it is changing into the vapor. Water is changing into vapor. That is, water is in liquid form, vapor is in the gaseous form. Same only we have to write for evaporation also. Liquid changes into gas without direct heating. Without directly, we are not heating like in the case where we are without direct heating. So all these are different process. All these are different process in which the changing forms, the forms are changing from solid to liquid, liquid to solid, again liquid to gas, gas. So liquid to gas, up to that we have learned now. So up to this, what are the different process? Melting, it is a process of changing solid into liquid on heating. Freezing, it is a process, the liquid is changing into solid on cooling. Boiling, it's a process in which liquid is changing into gas on heating, direct heating. Evaporation, Also again it is a process in which the liquid changes into gas without direct heating. All these are examples. Every day it is happening surrounding us. We are noticing or unnoticed, but it is happening. Yes, no, we learned about water cycle also. No, water is changing into water vapor. That is called evaporation only. No, yes. So that is where we can see that water is the water body. Water is getting boiled. Not directly it is getting heated, but indirectly because of the heat of the sun, it is getting evaporated. So I hope this is. Well known to you, that activity only observing and drawing. Now we will move on to the next part of the lesson, children. Yeah, children, we will continue our learning. So far we learnt about changing form from solid to liquid, liquid to solid, and also later we learnt about liquid changing into gas. Now see, here you can see the picture. We have taken water in a bowl or container and we will start heating. Okay, so now liquid, we are starting heating. Now you all know that when you are heating it continuously, it will start boiling. So boiling means by the time it will change into gas. So now here liquid is getting changed into gas because of the heat. So liquid changing into gas because of heat. Yes, no children. So now it is changing. So you are seeing that steam is coming up. By the time you put off the stove and bring the container down and you close it with a lid, close it tightly with a lid with a plate and leave. It's not getting, it is allowed to cool. Now after some time, when you open the lid, when you take the lid, can you see like this small droplets, children? You will be seeing this. You have to observe and you have to send me the pics. I have kept the pics here, but you can observe with the help of your parents only you will do. But normally if your mother is giving you food in a container to school, if it is hot, by the time when you open the lunch box, you can see the small droplets of water on the lid, no children. Same thing only. From where that water came, children? What is actually happening? What is this? From where that water came? Very good. The water, the gaseous form, water vapor, changed into water again. Gas changed into liquid again by cooling. Here, again the vapor which was here, that was the vapor, water vapor into water. So how this happened? We are not heating it because of cooling. This is because of heating. That is what is happening. Yes, children. So in this example you can see that on heating, liquid is changing into gas, and on cooling, gas is again changing into liquid. This happens, we can observe in our everyday life also. Forms. Now so far we learnt about freezing, melting, also boiling. So now this is from liquid to gas. When it will happen, children? On heating. Example, water to water vapor, you can keep it in your mind. And again gas to liquid. When to happen, children? Gas to liquid. It will happen only when we are cooling. When you leave it, put it the container down. Even here water vapor to water. That's how the rain, children, water cycle, when we learned about that. So the water vapor goes up as it is cold there. Again they will become water and they will come back to the earth as water. So this is another thing, new thing which we are further learning about the changing in form. Now freezing, melting you learned, right, children? And boiling also you learned. So when the liquid will start changing into gas, that is called as boiling. Yes, no children. Boiling is when you are heating directly. Just now we have drawn the picture. Directly when you are heating, the liquid is changing into gas. Now you think, children, there is a puddle near your home. When it rained, that puddle is filled with water. So now after 2-3 days there is no rainfall, and what will happen to that puddle water, children? Slowly the water will get disappeared. What is happening to that water? The water is changing into water vapor. Who is heating it? Sun's heat only, but not directly heating as we are heating the boiling. It is by the indirect heating. So that is called as another new process and the new term, that is the evaporation. So this is also one process in which what is changing? The liquid is changing into gas without direct heating. Boiling with direct heating, but the evaporation is without direct heating. So even the spelling for boiling, evaporation also you have to learn. So evaporation. Evaporation takes place, no children, that is very important for the water cycle. So what is happening? The liquid changes to gas. Yes, without direct heating, the nature it is happening due to the heat of the sun. Even your dry, wet clothes, when we leave it outside, after some time, evening time when you touch it, it becomes dry. What happened to the water in that? It has changed into water vapor due to the heat of the sun. That is without direct heating. That is called as evaporation. In boiling, we are heating. Now, so next part we learned that gas is changing into liquid. No children, water vapor is changing into water. So this process is called as condensation. Condensation. So that means what? The process of changing of gas form into liquid form. How it will happen? By cooling. Just now you close the lid and you observe, no, that is condensation only. Even when I told you open the tiffin box, the droplets, that process is condensation only. What is changing there? Water vapor is changing into water. Water vapor is gas form and water is liquid form. So what is that process called? That process is called condensation. So we learned melting, freezing, boiling, evaporation and condensation. All are happening surrounding us only. Just if you read 2 to 3 times, you will be clearly understanding how our one is different from other with example. Because water can exist in all the 3 forms. You can take water as an example and you can learn. In your textbook also, same only it is given. No children, water is changing into different forms. It is given. In your textbook, you can take open page number 114 and 15. You can see all the process pictures are there. Read that part, what is given. You will understand it better. Now we will move on to the workbook, children. So take open page number 12 in your workbook. Very simple one which you can try on your own. We'll discuss that. Write the day. S3. Tick the correct answer. When a solid melts into a liquid. Solid is melting into a liquid. Its shape changes or remains the same. Solid butter we learned beginning. And I had drawn how was the shape you think. And ice cream I said what happened to the shape. And I said about the ice cube, what happened to the shape? Very good. It changes. Tick the changes. B1. The amount of space it occupies. When it is starting melting, what about the space occupied? Very good. That also changes. Tick it. Changes. Second one. If a chocolate, I put it out in the sun, in the box, write or draw what happens to the chocolate. The chocolate, hard chocolate which having a specific shape, fixed shape, it will start melting. Draw that. What is that process called? Melting. Now again, ice is melted ice cream. You are going to put in the freezer. What happened to it? It will become a hard. The fixed shape will come for that. That is called freezing. Yes, no children. Spelling you should know. So S3 we are talking about. Drawing part you should do on your own. S3. Second one is melting. Third one is freezing. Yes, no children. So this is the drawing part. Other all you can do on your own. Fourth question. Why does coconut oil in a bottle freeze in winter but not in summer? So why? Because in winter it is very cold. No, it is very cold. So liquid oil changes into solid form. It freezes. You can write in the bracket freezes also. In winter because it is very cold. In summer it is hot. You can extend that as in summer it is hot, so it starts melting. Freezing and melting, both words you can include and you can complete that answer on your own. Now coming to S4, liquid to gas. See, here you see they have taken a pan and they are heating oil. Directly they are heating. So what happened to the oil? What happened to the oil when you are S3 children? Sorry, by mistake I wrote S2. So what happens to the oil? It starts boiling. No, on heating. On heating the oil starts boiling. Why? Because why? Liquid changes into gas. On heating and right. Liquids changes into gases on heating. Yes, no children. See, but that differs for each and every liquid. It will be changing. Even every solid, all will not be. If you take iron, if you want to heat it, will it melt it? If you keep it outside, it will start melting. No, because every solid needs a different temperature, different amount of heat to start melting. Same way, every liquid wants a different amount of heatness to start boiling, to change into gas. This is all you will be learning when you go to higher classes. Now see the second question. When you have cold and you take steam inhalation, you can see water drops on your forehead. Why does this happen? Water droplets, how it came? Because the water vapor, see this water vapor is changing into water, touching your face. Because you can write, because water vapor changes into water vapor changes into water on cooling. Yes, no, gas is changing into water on cooling. What is this process called? This is called as condensation. Yes, no children. Here what is this process? Liquid is changing into gas. Evaporation, you can write in the bracket. Now third question, you can in detailed way you can write that actually what is happening. Just I have given you the hint for writing that answer on your own. You write in the proper words how it is asked. For that, write the answer. When we are inhaling, the water is getting heated up. Water is changing into water vapor. Again, when it touches our face, due to cool. So put your own words and complete. You keeping this as a hint for you to complete the answer. Last question. The rainwater puddles disappear after some time. Is this evaporation or boiling? Give reason. It is evaporation. Why? Because the changing of water into water vapor is taking place without direct heating. I hope you can do it. If you are unable to do, you can, after trying, you can check the answer. So, what is that? It is evaporation. Is this evaporation or evaporation? Water changes into water vapor without direct heating. That is why it is evaporation. Why evaporation? Because water is changing into water vapor here without direct heating. So very important processes we learned today. So again I say, let's just observe by doing simple activities of observing ice cream or chocolate or anything in the freezer and all, and read from the textbook, complete S3, S4 and try to answer the backside questions in your textbook. All the answers per questions, you can find out the answers and be ready for before the next lesson to be thorough with this 18th block, children. Let us meet in the next class. Bye bye, children.